Hey everybody, it's Ben in Beta, and today I want to tell you about a product that I didn't really know I would want or need until I moved to somewhere really hot like Salt Lake City in the summer. It can be over 100 degrees here in the summer, and that means my truck can get really hot. And recently, a company called Pigenius reached out to me and asked if I would take a look at their sunshades. And I'd never really considered a sunshade before, but after I thought about it a little bit and knowing how hot it gets in here because everything is black, I thought, you know what? I want to give it a try and just see what I think about it. So this is the Pigenius sunshade that's made specifically for the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. And if you use the code that's in the description below, along with the link, you'll save 10% off your order. So check that out and save if you want to pick one of these up. They make them for a lot of other vehicles. And one of the big benefits about these is that they fit perfectly so that you don't have to struggle with something that's not going to fit correctly. And that's a big deal. Now, it does come with a case, which is pretty cool. So if you want to keep it in there, you can, but it also has these straps, so you can very quickly and easily use the straps. It comes with a couple of different materials on the outside as well, so you can kind of pick what you want there. Installation and storage is really easy. You can see how small this gets, which is great. So let's put this in and just see what happens with the temperatures. And then I'll also tell you a couple of other reasons why I particularly like this for the new Tacomas and the new 4Runners. All right, so all we got to do here is take these straps off really quickly. We're going to put the black side in, which should make this pretty simple. We're unfolding it here and just getting it up inside, tucking it around the mirror. And this is going to give you UV protection. It's got 3 different layers of protection as well, which is great. It's super ultra light, made from really good materials. It's not going to scratch anything either, which is pretty sweet. And you can see already this is nice and dark in here. One thing I'm going to do here really quickly is just give you an idea of what the temperature is up here near the speaker on my system as well. So we're going to turn on my iPad here, and the current temperature of that Govee temperature sensor is about 74.9, 75 degrees, something like that. So we're gonna let it kind of sit in here for a little bit while we're talking. Now, it is comfortable in here, even though the vehicle is off, and it's about 70 degrees outside right now, something like that. And we can see things are rising a little bit now that the temperature sensor has been moved, but this was black. It's a little bit warmer up here than it was on the seat as well, so something to think about there. But we're gonna check this here in a little bit and see how it does. One of the big things about the 24 Tacomas and the new 4Runners is it has this speaker that sits in the front and is your center channel in the packages that include that. I've used this overlanding and I love it, but my biggest problem is when I'm overlanding, if the sun beats down on this, it's too hot to use and you have to let it sit for a while before it'll work. And overheating this a whole bunch of times is probably not good for the battery either, even though it's been tested for things like that. So having a sunshade when I get to camp means this speaker shouldn't get too hot and I should be able to use it whenever I want, and that's great as well. So not only am I going to protect everything that's up front here, keep the vehicle a little bit cooler during the day, I'm also going to be able to save the speaker a little bit and keep it from overheating. So I can definitely see this being very beneficial when I'm overlanding too, because then I'm able to keep everything that's in the truck a little bit cooler. That's been a problem sometimes when you're closer to the sun, you're up at 10,000 feet. The sun's quite powerful, so anytime you can block that, I think is good. Again, pretty easy installation here. We'll just take a look at what that looks like outside. So about 76.6 degrees right now. All right, so Pigenius on the outside. You can see it fits really, really nice inside the vehicle, which is what we want. Cut specifically for it, it's looking good. So you can see that this one has reflective material on it. There's another version that doesn't have the reflective material on it, so that might be something you'd prefer as well. And again, I have the links and the code in the description. You want to pick one of these up. I just never was sure that I would want something like this, but now that I've used it a few times, I'm actually pretty impressed by it. When I take my truck to work and park at work, I actually have to park outside. I can't use the parking garage because my truck is too tall with the tent on it. So this is another way to save everything on the inside and just keep the rays off everything, try to keep it a little bit cooler when I'm heading home, which is always going to be nice too. So just protecting the inside of my vehicle. And again, it gets to be over 100 here a good portion of the summer. So I'm going to be kind of excited to keep things just even a little bit cooler inside the vehicle. All right, so we've seen the temperature rise a little bit, which does make sense. You know, again, the sun was shining on that. It's cooling off, actually pretty nice and cool here. The seat is much warmer, by the way, where the sun is coming in like quite a bit warmer. If you have any questions about the Pigenius sunshade, please leave them in the comments below and I would be happy to answer anything I can about that. letting you know kind of long-term how this works. I probably will do at least an update. So far, it's been pretty nice in the days that I've used it at work and even just out and about. And I'm excited to use it for overlanding as well. It's been sitting here now for like about 5-10 minutes with the sunshade in. You can kind of see what that looks like. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit longer, then we're gonna take the sunshade out and see what happens when we do that. All right, we're back. It's been a few minutes. Now it's warmed up in here. We're up to like 84 degrees, something like that. What I wanna do is show you how the shade packs back up. And then we're gonna let the temperature sensor sit another 10 minutes or so. It's been almost exactly 10 minutes, to be honest with you, just to see what the difference is once we take this out of here. It's still not too bad in here at the moment, which is nice. So let me show you how this all takes down and we'll go from there. Pretty simple. You just really need to get around the mirror and then it folds up pretty nice and easy from there, even while you're inside the vehicle. And then all you need to do is wrap each side. Here's the other side. And then if you want, you can go ahead and slip it back into its case, but you don't have to do that. That's an optional step. It's just if you kind of want to keep it in a case or if you're going to store it long term, that can be nice too. And there we go. Fits in there nice and easy, and that can go in the back seat for when I need it. All right, let's let this sit for a couple minutes, but we can see already that the temperature is going up very quickly in the truck. But we'll give it about 10 minutes and we'll see where we're at. While we're waiting for that, don't forget that it takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos. And I love it when I can get codes and save you money on things like this product, especially when they're really good like this product is. If you found this video even a little bit helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. Check out the overlanding videos, check out the detailing videos, and the other videos I have on that channel too. Share this out with anybody who lives in a hot climate, and maybe you could benefit from one of these as well. If you can do those things, I'd appreciate that too. So we'll come back in 10 and see where we're at. All right, it's the moment of truth for the Pigenius sunshade. It's been about 10 minutes, not even quite at this point. It does feel a lot warmer in here. That's just a feel, so that's subjective. But we're at 97 degrees and still going up. So it's getting hotter and hotter in here. And it has been almost 10 minutes. It's been 9 minutes at this point. And we've gone up like 10 degrees already. So it's definitely getting hotter and hotter in here. So this Pigenius sunshade was doing a pretty good job of keeping it nice and cool in here, especially on the dash. So, I mean, obviously I'm measuring it in the sun, but that is where you're gonna see the biggest temperature difference. And yeah, it's definitely much hotter up here. Already up to 98 degrees sitting in the sun. And again, only is gonna get hotter. I hope you found this video helpful. Again, links are in the description. Use that discount code. I think it's 10 Ben in Bet without the A because they couldn't fit it on there, but check those links out. Use the code, copy, paste it, and save yourself 10% if you're looking for a sunshade for your vehicle as well. They have them again for lots of different vehicles, but the one for the 2024 Toyota Tacoma fits perfect and works pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, live your life in beta, and we'll see you next time. Oof. It's going to be 100 up there just in a little bit. Ouch. It's getting hot in here.